Hello there. Good day and welcome to Sister on City TV and of course 97.3 City FM. Totally thrilled to come your way once again. My name is Jessica, your regular hostess. Now, of course, the show's about relationships, right? Your relationships and sometimes the stuff that happened in that relationship. You know, sometimes you might be in two minds about certain occurrences and you might want a listening ear. And I believe that this show gives you that kind of, platform. Not only will we listen, we'll offer our 2 cents as well. So that's an added bonus. There are various ways that you can interact with us on the show, and I'll give you all those details and more right after this. And you're welcome back. Sister, City TV, 97.3 City FM. We're also live around the world at citynewsroom.com, or you can check out our Facebook page. We may be streaming live as well. Better yet, download the City Newsroom app on your Android or iOS device, and you should be good to go. You can listen to the show from wherever you are in the world. Better yet, if you miss out on the show, we have podcasts that we put out there every single week. So once again, my name is Jessica. Let's say hello to my sisters this evening. And of course, the usual suspects are here. We've got Tina in the house.
Hello.
What's going on, girl?
I'm crushing on your hair.
You like my hair?
Yeah. Very
Why don't
pretty.
I like my hair?
Oh, you do like your hair.
Oh, I like my hair?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I like it.
It's all yours.
I just reminded you. Yeah,
Good to
and
see
then
you, though.
I'm waiting for Easter or Fun project. Yeah,
We're in the month of April.
Yes, so we are counting on people who listen to us to donate to the City Easter Orphan Project. We're going to visit Hand Evangelism, and then we have Basco, where we go every year to the orphans. So come to the front desk of City FM. Just give us your 2 cents. It will go a long way to put a smile on someone's face.
We'll also be doing Bolgatanga, Mama Ladi.
Yes.
Fantastic. Can't wait. Olivia, good to see you. What's going on?
Nothing really. School is on holiday. I'm just looking forward to tangoing on my bed.
I hate you.
And just like
School's
chilling.
on holiday. Tangoing on your bed.
Yeah. Charlie, my bro.
Yeah.
Girls are brave.
It's all good.
Some person are taking it easy.
Oh, yeah, tango.
Hey, yeah, tango. The tango is very essential. Hey, we are tango now. Feeling now what that.
Right.
I thought the tango was sleeping.
I thought it was a dance.
I know, right?
It's all happening in bed, so you can imagine.
Wow.
I don't want to imagine.
Hi, Rosina. Charlie. This tangoing matter.
So wait.
Let me waltz.
What have you been doing in bed? What dance have you been dancing?
Nothing.
Agbaja.
Mine is Achaluko.
Right. How's baby?
Baby is fantastic.
Danica.
She's doing so well.
She's so cute. She looks like you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. Let's go right into action, ladies. You ready? All right. Now, there are various ways that you, watching and listening to us right now, can interact with us. You send a quick email to jessica@cityfmonline.com or via WhatsApp, 054-998-6996. I do get it that a lot of your messages come through that we're not able to address, but trust me, we don't throw even one single message away, and I'm sure your time will come when we get to it, all right? So just keep them coming through, keep watching the show, and I'm sure that even if we can't address your message on this very edition, subsequent editions will cover you. So here we go. Gerald is our first messenger. Now, it says, I've been married for 2 years. And it's been a raging war since the start of our second anniversary. It all started when we allocated a week to spice up our sex life, which we dubbed Fetish Week. We agreed to fulfill each other's fetishes. We started with mine, in which she had to dress as a nurse and seduce me, her patient, into having sex with her. It was fun, and we enjoyed it greatly. Hers was next. Jess, it was an absolute disaster. She asked for us to have a threesome with a female friend of hers with whom she had homosexual relations with. Apparently, she's bisexual, which I knew nothing about. She wanted to have sex with both of us at the same time, and I wasn't going to share my wife with any man or woman. And I have my own views when it comes to issues of LGBT. So watching my wife doing stuff with another woman was hard. She called me selfish, insecure, homophobic, and threatened to divorce me. Her friends see me, laugh, and call me John. The worst part is our parents are pushing us to have a meeting with them to settle issues. The meeting is not the problem. The cause of the issue to be solved is the problem. Both our parents are staunch Christians. And you can imagine what would happen if they hear words like fetish, threesome, etc. Please help me. Tell me how I can settle this with my wife so as not to let our families hear this. And most of all, I love my wife. Wow, Gerald. Who wants to go first?
Not me.
Tina,
guess what?
everybody's
Not
pointing
me.
to you.
You've been nominated.
Not me. Please, someone
Olivia,
go
this is
first.
up your alley.
This one.
Oh.
This one is more your domain.
Fetishes
but
and
you see, this one has so many things in there. You know, it has so many things in there. The fact that he loves his wife, the fact that they're looking to explore in terms of their sexual life. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having all sorts of interesting games with your partner, because you really want to enjoy your partner inside out, really. That's the whole objective, because you want to keep the fun at home. You don't want to go outside for it. So there's nothing wrong with that. So everything was going well. Until you invite a third party into your bedroom. You see, the day that you say I do, it means that it's both of you. You're not calling other people else to be with you in that intimate moment. And for me, I feel like the day she suggested it, you should have said no. But you went to the extent of, maybe you just wanted to make her happy. You went to the extent of actually opening up your doors to another person to come in. Nakedness, everything, got it all done. You know, so really, you didn't draw the line. You know, because it's your matrimonial bed. It's you and your partner. That's see, love making is beautiful. Intimacy with the person that you love is beautiful. It's supposed to be enjoyed alone. See, and once you bring other people in, it complicates matters, because anything could have gone wrong. Really, you could have preferred her friend to her after that moment. The whole thing is really crazy. Right now, unfortunately, I don't know what to say, because she doesn't have your listening ear. She doesn't care. Where she's at is where she's at. She doesn't even understand why you're upset that there's another person in the relationship. She's expecting you to take her as she is. She's played you nicely, whereby you're married. You have to accept her the way she is. You have to know that she's a heterosexual person. So this bisexual person. So there's no, where do you go? And for me, asking the family to even come into the situation is not going to solve it, because you can't change her.
And it may make it worse, no?
It will make it worse. Her family, her parents knowing, really, behind closed doors matter. Yeah, it's different. Anointing, that one's different. When you do that, and I really don't see how else you're going to convince her, because I'm sure you've tried convincing her. She wants you to accept her just the way she is. She's not going to change for you. Where she's at is where she's at. And honestly, going out there and telling people about it is not going to help. Right now, you even have people who are laughing at you. It's gotten to the point whereby she doesn't respect your opinions. You're married, and if you're married, like we said the other time, you have to be empathetic of each other. If somebody doesn't like something, because you love the person, you don't want to keep hurting the person. And right now, she's gone past caring about you, caring about the fact that it's upsetting you. I really don't know how you're going to go about this.
Let me hear you, Rosie.
The little I'll say is that in every game you want to play, every game, every sport, there's always some rules guarding it. It doesn't have to be hard and fast rule, but it should be clear that, oh, I want to see how to please you. So tell me how I can please you. You to tell me how you can please me, and all kind of like that kind of thing, so that you know that whatever things you're exploring is between the two of you. It doesn't involve a third party. Now, when the third party came in, like Olivia said, if you know or you knew that wasn't going to be okay with you, you should have stood your ground from day one. You shouldn't have been there and now not taking part in it. Because she even came with a friend. If she even came with a stranger, that's a different thing. And she came with a friend. I'm sure somebody that you also know. So before the friend came in, the friend knew that this is what we were coming to do. So the fact that you started, you were attempting to be in it, you said you couldn't anymore, that's what has made you a laughing stock. Now the thing is that now that it's over and done with, the harm has already been done. My thing is that you asked for it and you got it. It's like having a conversation with someone to tell me what you think about me. The person that is telling you and now you are so pissed. So don't be pissed. Don't be angered. Forgive her from where you stand. Because if you hadn't called for it, you probably wouldn't have seen it. So that when you accept her as she is, then maybe she can start listening to what you have to tell her. The reason why you were not comfortable with it, you are not judging her, but you think that your matrimonial home should not be open to such acts, XYZ, XYZ. So don't be so angry. When you're angry at somebody and you're livid at the person, it's the way you communicate. It just doesn't come out right. No matter how good your intentions are, it doesn't come out right because you're angry, you are livid, you have all kinds of negative emotions and all that. So, and then the other person too would not listen because instead of seeing exactly what you are thinking, your emotions are talking. So it doesn't come out right. So I think that put your emotions aside and let logic come in. And speak to her logically and let her know that, well, I never knew this part of you. It's actually very exciting. Or I never knew this part of you. I've never been introduced to it before. And it's very, very new to me. I don't think I can ever bring myself to do that. But I'll respect you from where you come from. But for our marriage, can we please put X, Y, Z out of it? You see? And then maybe she would, out of love for you, out of respect for you, and also the fact that you are not bashing her as a result of the kind of person she is, she may be willing and wanting to listen. So I think that as for the family members, you know, because of generational things, there are certain things, if you bring it in there, and especially because it's the woman who is bringing in the third person, trust me, your parents, you the guy's parents, they're going to break it out.
Yeah.
They'll say this woman is a prostitute, this woman is this woman is that, don't bring her into your life. They're going to say all kinds of things. So I think that these things, they are issues of our times, not issues of our parents' generation. So as much as possible, keep it away from your parents, but learn how to deal with it. First, you have to accept her first for who she is, and then let her understand where you're coming from, and then learn how to communicate well. As usual, no insults, no name calling, no I'm shocked at you, I'm surprised at you, you know, nothing like that. Just let her know that, wow, this is a side of you I never imagined. But we can look past it. I will not be able to partake in it, and I hope that you also don't partake in it so that we can make this marriage stick. That's what I think.
So just to add to what the sisters have said, we cannot know our partners fully before we engage in long-term relationships. And in as much as we can't do that, there are some conversations that have to be brought to the table, whether we like it or not. And we cannot ignore the fact that LGBT, bisexual way of life is now becoming a norm in society. So it will be good every now and then to raise such conversations between you and your partner before you get married. Because it's good to know your partner's stance on what these things are and how comfortable you are with LGBT or being bisexual. Because trust you me, there are lots of women or lots of men who are bi-curious, i.e. trying to know how it will feel like to know to be in a sexual relationship with the same sex Okay, so they are curious to know, okay, so if I indulge with a woman, how will it feel like? How will it be?
It doesn't necessarily mean they're bisexual.
No, maybe they want to
do it.
Doesn't mean, yes, it's just a thought.
Yeah.
It's a feeling. They want to engage. So sometimes out of societal pressures or whatever it is, or maybe an opportunity presents itself, then they indulge and they say, oh, this is not for me after all. Or maybe, no, I'm interested in this kind of thing, and so they engage. So being well aware that these things have been happening or are happening in our new life, you can't ignore it. Please indulge in a conversation about your stance for bisexualities and LGBT. That's one. The second thing is that we get shocks in our relationships all the time, and this is not even boyfriend, girlfriend, married man, married woman. This is even parent, child. Sometimes you, the parent, you don't even know how you react to a situation. All of a sudden, you get so angry, you hit your child in all sorts of manner, and you sit up and you be like, oh, I wasn't sure I was going to do this. We get shocked at our reactions all the time and our behaviors all the time. And so as we get to know these behaviors, or as they happen, we need to sit up and have a conversation about it. And what is happening is that because you have a stance, now I'm talking to the man, because you have a stance on LGBT, or you have your own views, you are not opening up to the other person's views. You are not opening up to the other person's side. And the girl may be so exposed that she's thinking, who's this guy from the 90s or from the 80s who doesn't understand that this is the current trend? Okay, her friends are calling you John because it's the norm of the day in their circle. And you have come into their circle. They think that, oh, guy, and by NBA, that is their definition of NBA.
How?
Do you understand? So I feel that a conversation has to be had between the two of you. And the conversation will have to be that you have an open mind to listen to where she's coming from, how she even indulged in it. Because when you understand the person you are with, you may find that, oh, it's actually not that deep from her side. If you love her more, her attention might turn. And all her concentration would be on you. Or she's in too deep that you cannot break it. If you break it, then it means you're breaking the two of you, and then you can take a decision. So I think you should get to know the root or where it started from. Get to know the person, and then you can weave your way through. But I agree with Rosina. I don't think details of this should be discussed with your family.
Absolutely not.
As for that,
I think we're all saying the same thing. For me, you know what baffles me though, ladies? When you really care about someone, when you really love someone, you don't want to share them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm a little iffy about the fact that his wife was too comfortable bringing in a third party. Do you really care about me? Do you want to risk our marriage with another woman? Like bringing in your friend? What if I fall for her?
Exactly.
Do you value what we have?
And
you know what I mean?
And I think what even makes it very dicey is the fact that, you see, it wasn't like on the spur of the moment.
Yeah.
If
It was her turn.
if it's
Let's say you're all
maybe
there,
you're
some
there,
drinks,
maybe some drinks,
something
that's different.
happened.
But
Yeah, but
this
this
one is
I'm going to bring.
premeditated. Or I'm going to bring. We've discussed Chalitina.
Oh Lord.
Tina says,
I mean, you said it's my turn.
yeah.
So it's my turn.
Or relax. His turn was he brought up something. Be the nurse, I'll be the doctor. Seduce me, da da da. Okay, she had all that time to be thinking about her turn.
So that's what makes
And
it
she
even
thought
dangerous.
about
Yeah.
it, and she probably had a conversation. Charlie, so the thing is almost my turn. So I'll tell him that you will come in. See, the girl is in.
That's something that's what makes it. If it was like maybe drinks, excitement, and one thing led to the other, and oh my God, it's happened. That's a different thing. But for her to actually go and Charlie, I think that it's either probably she's actually naturally lesbian.
Yeah. So and just got married.
And
for,
just got married to have a family, for the society and all that. So now that she's married and everything, she misses that side, or probably she has friends that she still engages. You see, the thing is that you see when you have a wife in the house and the wife is always with girls, you don't think, Charlie, same way when you have a husband and the husband is always roaming with boys. That's the last thing. It's the other way around. When you see your wife with a man, like, hey, when you see your
now the scary part is
you don't know who
you
to
don't
trust.
really know. You don't really know. So the thing is, Charlie, that's the scary part.
Yeah.
To think about it, that's the scary part.
And can you imagine? Maybe it really hit him when during the act.
You
Right.
saw how comfortable they were with each
together,
other.
and the other girl was actually
that he
probably sat back.
The
and
girl's
was like,
reaction
hey.
felt like a didija because they
didn't need him.
like he's now sitting down saying,
What am I doing here?
Or she be sure the wife gets satisfied in levels he had never imagined.
I think that we are not joking about it.
Yes.
What and we are not taking sides as in maybe we don't support or we don't side with people's sexuality. Listen, you can indulge as much as you want. It is your life. But you should respect yourself such that, or respect your relationship such that you are jealous of it. You regard it so much that you don't want anybody to come in there and spoil it or give it another flavor.
Exactly.
You know, like I always say to myself that, Charlie, I will cook my husband's food. I will make our bed. I will scrub our bathroom. Like there's things that maybe I can but that is for him, because if I change his taste buds,
he gets used to the other one.
Mother, what will I do? So I'll do the style myself.
You cry.
I will make myself.
Take care.
And I'll lay the bed myself.
Then you do your own to yourself.
You do your own to yourself. Finish.
No one did.
Charlie, so I mean, I think we've pretty much touched on this. Gerald, interesting situation you're in there. I think we're all saying do not involve the parents. Try and sort this out as much as you can. And of course, communication is key. Get into your wife's mind and find out where she really is at. If it's something you cannot stand for, take a decision and move on. You know, a message here says, "Good evening, sisters. My husband and I have been married for just a month now. But before the marriage, we had never had sex. Our first sex after marriage was great. But he asked for anal sex the next day, and I refused. And he's been giving me attitude since. He hasn't touched me again after I turned him down. I want to make my marriage work, but I'm also scared of this whole anal sex issue. What should I do?"
This one, dear, don't give your bum to him. How? No.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
That's what it is. Like, you can't sugarcoat it any. Like, can you imagine when you're really constipated and you're sitting down and you're trying to get this thing out of your thing and it's not coming? How in heaven's name are you going to allow a penis in there?
Forget about the imagining.
Okay, exactly. But you see, when it comes to intimacy, right? It's supposed to be enjoyed. You're not supposed to feel tortured or tormented. When your husband is coming in, then you're like, hey, it's too much trouble. Like, by the time you even finish thinking about it, you're worked out. Like, you're supposed to relax and enjoy. But this agonizing thing, hey, no. No, you see, I have a big problem because you know what it is. Yes, people do watch. People try to sort of learn. You know, there's nothing wrong in learning different sexual positions, especially because you're both coming from a virgin's point. You know, you don't know, so there's nothing wrong. You watch a couple of movies to get you entertained, get information as to what positions to indulge in. You read on the internet. You know, you try to explore so that you can learn to enjoy each other more in a relationship. There's nothing wrong, but I have a problem whereby you watch all sorts of porn videos, right? And what really they're depicting is not the reality. You will see a man's thing that is on for like hours, and the woman would expect the man to be
Superman.
on Superman the whole time for like 10 hours. Meanwhile, the video has been edited, fast forward, cuts put together, and they're showing it to you. I have a big problem with I don't know who likes this whole who likes this whole anal sex thing, but I feel like the more people watch pornography
material, yeah.
with anal sex in there over a long period of time, you tend to feel that it's normal, but it's not normal. For me, I don't see anything normal about it, because really it's supposed to be an anus where poop is supposed to be coming out. I don't see what a penis is doing in my poop hole. Excuse me, I don't know how else to sugarcoat it. No, how many lubricants you have to use. It's just not right. Really, look at the female anatomy. Of all the places to enjoy, like from head to toe, from her toes to her fingers to her ears to her, like, of all the places, that one place pet that you're not supposed to stick it in. Why do you have to stick it in? So don't have that conversation with him. If he likes, right? If he likes, suggest it to him. How about, you know what? I know that you want to do it for me first, right? Find the sex toy, the really long one, and ask him how he would feel if you stuck it up his. But that's the thing. That's another surprise. If you get there and he's already been there,
I think that when it comes, you see, this thing about abstaining before marriage, the fact that you abstain before marriage doesn't mean that your mouth, as in talking about sex, should also be abstained before marriage. It's important that you get to know each other virtually, even though you are not physically. You know, the kind of things that, you know, excite you, what your fantasies are, what you might be open to, what you might be, because you see, yes, just talk about it, because you see, some time ago, if you mention oral sex,
It was a taboo.
Oh my goodness. But you are here, if I mention oral sex to Olivia, you'll probably be smiling.
It's good.
Exactly. That's something that you see.
Poop doesn't come out of them.
But the mouth is supposed to.
The mouth is supposed to pleasure. That is why you kiss your partner with your mouth. And you do a million and other things with your mouth.
The mouth is meant for certain specific things. There are people in this generation now who feel that oral sex is the most abominable thing the mouth can ever perform.
Even French kissing.
Even French kissing. There are people who do not do French kissing because it's not clean, it's not religious, it's not There are people who still think like that. But my thing is that, look, when you get into a relationship, so far as you know it's getting to a certain level of seriousness, you guys should start talking about your sexualities. What you like, what you don't like, what you'll be open to. Because you see, there's nothing wrong in asking. It could be anything. But my problem is that the fact that you've asked doesn't mean that it should be given to you. If you meet a woman who is comfortable with that, they can come and say, oh yes, actually me now, maybe into it, but maybe I was shy to, then we'll do it. Then they are enjoying themselves. Right. Me, I can't come and stand there and tell that couple that what they are doing is wrong. Because they understand the dynamics medically. Of late, medically, they don't tell you that, Charlie, it is so. They will tell you that if you are going to do, then make sure you do this. Make sure the woman is comfortable with it, and Maybe for my marriage, it's not going to be, it's a no-no. It's like, I'm not going to do it. But for somebody else's, that is their thing. So for us, both of them are happy and comfortable with it. Me, I can't stand on the outside and judge. But it's important that when you're in a relationship, don't just talk about, oh, I love you, the Bible says this, the Bible says that, or my mother says we're going to live in a big house, 3 children, a pet, a dog. No. Sometimes you should expand the conversation. Yes, and you should expand the conversation to your sexuality, to your finances, to how you're going to even allow mother-in-laws, father-in-laws to come. There are certain soft areas.
To the positions.
Everything. Like you should be. That's the whole idea of dating and courting. Just be talking about issues, okay, to pick people's minds, so that even though, of course, like Tina said, there's always going to be shocks. Because me, myself, I do things that shock me. So me that I've lived with myself for as long as I've existed on this earth, if it can shock me, anybody else can shock me. Absolutely. You understand? So there'll be shocks, but at least the shocks would, be limited small. It's like you have a shock absorber. Okay, that's how she is.
Or the last time she even mentioned something.
She even mentioned something like that. So why am I surprised that she's even doing this? You understand? So at the end of it, me, I'm not going to take the stance, the venom with which she's spewing. And all I'm saying is that, look, as a woman, if you're not comfortable with it, don't let anybody force you to do it, because it's not part of the rules of engagement. However, if you are comfortable with it and you want to engage in it, me, Rosina, sitting here, I won't open my mouth and come and say, hey, don't do it. But all I'm saying is that look, when it comes to sex, apart from the normal one where PP goes into
VV.
PP goes into VV, apart from the normal one, which is expected of you, every other thing should be comfortable with both of you.
Preach.
Okay. Tina, come in.
Oh,
I
actually agree with her. So I was just going to give like a small summary.
Okay, go ahead.
Just to say that once you're not comfortable, don't do it. But you know something about that sacrifice thing that we were talking about. Love is sacrifice. Right. Okay. Now, the sacrifice does not entail things that will hurt your being. Okay, so that if you are sacrificing your money or you are sacrificing your food or something that will not hurt you physically, I mean, that's not a bad thing. But if that sacrifice entails you medically being sick or something that will hurt your personal being, I don't think that is love.
Right.
That's one. You are out of the sacrifice we are talking about. So that's just a little.
Great. It's Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. Your comments are welcome tonight on 054-998-6996. And if you have questions you would like to ask us, we're more than happy to answer them to the same number, or send a quick email to jessica@cityfmonline.com. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we return, there's a whole lot more. We'll be back.
Every weekday at 8 p.m., City Newsroom brings you analysis of the major news stories of the day. In-depth, comprehensive, and researched. It's 1 hour of local and international news from 8 to 9 p.m. It's the City Newsroom, weekdays on City TV.
All right, so you're welcome back. Interesting times ahead, I tell you. But we'll move on from that subject. There was a lot of conversation generated during that stint. Moving on. So this one says, hello, sister. Please help a sister out with some advice. The man I'm in love with gives me a sense of home. Whenever I'm embarking on an experience or a project and it's giving me anxiety, his presence alone calms me. And he's ever willing to fully support me in all my experiences. He'll remove the food in his mouth for me to eat if both of us were hungry, etc. My well-being is his priority. I feel safe with him, and he does not come into the relationship with drama. He, however, lacks ambition. I'm more of a go-getter than he is. He'll talk of a project and never embark on it or complete it, procrastinate and excuses never depart from him. Again, he doesn't command respect, and I think it's because he's too fine. He needs to put in a little more effort before he's accorded the respect he deserves. These kind of things frustrate me because I'm of the alpha female nature. The family that I yearn for, I find in him. Sustaining that family, though, is what I'm not sure of. We are both in our late 30s, and I'm financially sounder than he is. Efia. Those types sound familiar.
Oh.
Yeah, you know those pretty boys who don't want to do anything because they think they're fine.
Just, I think you should tell us.
No,
So we are the hosts.
I'm saying it.
Okay,
Go on. Go on.
I've finished saying it. No, but seriously, some of them do not want to lift a finger. They're just lazy. And if you follow their ahofe,
like you do,
you feed them for the rest of your life. It can be frustrating, and in the end, a relationship breaker.
You see, when you have an alpha female in a relationship and you don't have a strong man with this alpha female, it becomes very difficult because, it becomes very easy. Let me say that, because she leads the way. She tells you what to do. She will do this, she will do that, she will do that. But when the man is strong and she is also the alpha female, then they clash, okay? And then everybody is opinionated and that's what they want. Now, when you have a lazy man, it's worse than anything in the world, because frustration sets in. You are the one providing. No direction, because sometimes as a woman, even though we like to do I want to do this, I want to do that, sometimes when the man says that we are doing this, it brings some stability, like you feel like there's some direction. Yeah, master wakasa, so we are doing this, and those things actually gives the woman assurance and gives the home some assurance that there's a man leading the family. So if he's not ambitious and he's lazy, was he lazy? Was he lazy?
He's lazy.
And he's lazy and he makes excuses and he doesn't. He's not. What do you call industrious? So a woman is mostly industrious, but a man also can, look for ways and means. Some men, you don't even know the business that they do, but they just go and turn things around and then come back. Not to say illegal things, but it's something that you need to see whether it's dangerous. You cannot live with such things. You cannot, especially if you're that strong and you are financially stable and sound. He will drain you. And at a point where you have a family and you're pregnant, at some point you can't work as much as you could, or maybe you don't have a side business to sustain the house, then what happens? Because a man is only a man when he is able to provide for his family. He himself will feel the respect come. It comes naturally. But think about it, he's not bringing anything. He's spending your money. There are so many examples before us that we can see where women have lost their marriages because the men are lazy and not providing. So weight, I think that this is a big red flag.
Huge.
Like it's in your face and you can't avoid it. Either you sit up, talk to him, tell him that, listen, I love you because you give me a certain sense of calm, you give me this, you give me that, but there's something that bothers me that I think that long term the ripple effect will be a big harm on us. So I would like you to do A, B, C, D, or I would like you to sit up more, look for more jobs, look for this, enter into this business. All the things that you're procrastinating, please, let's do it now. Let's put dates there, and accomplish it. Sometimes all the man needs is a boost, and maybe you can be the person to push him forward. So maybe try that as well. Push him. Set dates, give guidelines, what do you call that? Timelines, an activity schedule of what you want to do. Of what you want to do with timelines and who is doing what. And let's see. maybe there will be an improvement, and then he won't be as bad as we are thinking after all.
Okay. I think that even every alpha female needs an alpha male in their life. Because at a certain point in time, after she's done it, she needs a man who is just a man, who is around, who has a vision, who has an aim, a focus, who is focused in life. So, women like men who are go-getters. And if you as a woman are a go-getter, how much more another man to complement you as time goes on? Tina has said it all. In a nutshell, it's also about tact, and it's also about how you tell him to his face. Let him know, Charlie, there's nothing else. I mean, he's a fine guy. You love him. Everything is there. But really, looking at the bigger picture, a couple of years down the line, you guys are married, you have kids and all of that. What kind of role model is he going to be, especially for your children? Are you always going to be the one who is going and coming? Even now, he's not bothered about the fact that he doesn't get the respect that is due him, because at the end of the day, I could be wrong. Maybe mom is always there, daddy is always there, everything is provided there for this. He's never had the edge or the edge to stand up for himself or to do things for himself. So like Tina said, encourage him and nudge him in the right way. And if still persuasion fails, force has to be applied. Exit as far as you can.
I don't think that it's every time that an alpha female only does well with an alpha male. Because you see, you can have an alpha female who is all out there. What she needs is probably not another loud man, but somebody who is definite in his steps. He knows what he wants. He can be calm, because people are so calm, who are very unassuming, but you can't take them for granted.
Right.
I mean, they still know what they want.
An alpha male.
Yes, but I'm saying that they are not all the way out there forceful, giddy. They might not be open to try new things, and they're not adventurous. They may do one work for like 30 years and the same job and things like that, but they know what they are doing. But this guy looks like a dreamer. Now, when you're with a dreamer, especially a lazy dreamer, it's terrible. You see, this thing, and that is who he is. You can't change him. There's nothing you can do. Even if you try to change him, because he wants a relationship, he might change for a short time. But all it takes is another year and a half. He goes back to factory settings. So I'm saying that, look, there are things that are deal breakers for everybody. As a human being, there's somebody who likes him like that. I just want a man who will care for me. I'll go out and go and get the money and come back. I just a man who will be home, even take care of the children and everything. There are people who like men like that. So he has his woman, but that woman is not you. And don't try and change, because you see, the thing about trying to change somebody to suit you is that it's never a real change. Out of losing you, they'll, so for us, it's a deal breaker for you. It's something you can't stand. You are somebody that when you step out and you introduce, okay, this is my man. You want everybody to go like, oh yeah, oh sir, how are you? Or oh sir, oh nice to meet you. Sir, oh, I've heard so much about you. You always want that. You always want that kind of respect. But if you go like, oh, this is my man, they'll no then it's like, oh, okay. So Olivia, as I was telling it makes you feel bad, and maybe that is what is actually going on. And this is a serious deal breaker for you. The thing is that we're all different. I can't justify your actions. I can't justify what you want or what you don't want. But if it means so much to you to have a man who knows what he wants, is able to go get what they want, and puts timelines to what they want, that's what takes it for you. Charlie, don't fool yourself and think that you can change him and make him what you want. At least you're not married. You are still dating, so at least you know. So this is the time for you, as far as I'm concerned, to exit so that you won't get bigger shocks. Yeah.
Okay, so I always say this, that you can only change a man when he's in diapers.
I like that.
Otherwise, forget it. I mean, if he's not willing to change, then Charlie, work done. Zero. Rosina knows. I'll talk from personal experience. I've actually been in this lady situation before. Loved the guy to bits.
I'm telling you.
She knows him. But when it comes to lifting a finger, forget it. He won't do it. He's too fine for that.
But he knows how to get the butterflies.
But he will take you to the beach.
And you play gym tie. Sing
music. Sweet music.
Just play me the
right? You love it.
And just come with them like,
what's up? Just play me the guitar. Oh my God, so
he will go 110 yards for you.
Wow.
body.
But that's it. That's really it. And don't deceive yourself into thinking that love will solve all those problems. Because when you get into that relationship proper, you realize that, Charlie, the love isn't enough.
Yeah, sure.
The music and the guitar don't mean nothing. You know, right now there's support, there's extra people, mouths to feed, there's life to live. You know, so my girl, listen, I've been there, done it, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Listen, it's not going to take you far. It's great. I mean, if you're looking for a storybook kind of fairy tale kind of guy, but it doesn't work in real life. Take it from me. So good luck, Charlie. You can, go against what we're all saying and still go ahead. I'm sure you're right back to the show.
But see how when an issue comes, everybody, owns up to what they actually go through.
Charlie, been there.
Like, Tina, when something comes that you've been through, you'd be like, so I dated this guy. Charlie?
I am bunching.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
It's Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. Your comments are welcome. Remember, it's 054-998-6996. That's our WhatsApp number. Send an email to jessica@cityfmonline.com. A message here says, I had a fallout with a lady on a group page, but we've become very good friends after. She had just come out of a relationship on grounds of cheating on the side of the guy. I gave her a shoulder to lean on, and I fell in love. I asked her out, but she told me she needed time. Sisters, we've been friends for 2 years. She's ready now, and I still love her, but I've become conscious of a few things. 1, she doesn't have tertiary education. 2, she battles severe ulcer, and that drives me crazy. I wish I had a better job. I would have put her through tertiary and flown her to South Africa or someplace to cure the ulcer once and for all. Sisters, I'm troubled and scared because in the last 8 months, no week passes without her not being rushed to the hospital. She spent more time with a doctor than me. She's tried to commit suicide before. It's that bad. Because of the ulcer, she's unable to work nor school. It's that serious. I love her, sisters. What should I do? Me here advice. Pa.
I don't know, you can't leave her now, because technically you guys are friends, right? She needs you now more than ever. And has she said yes to you though?
Yes.
She's ready now.
She's ready now.
So she's ready now.
And you feel like there's so much at stake because now she's sick and everything. It almost feels as though, I don't know, maybe somebody should take it. I'll come back.
So for me, there are some things that are red flags, but there are things that are not red flags, but they are constant situations that you need to assess and say that I have the capacity to deal with. And that is sickness. You see, we may not all be in the same boat, i.e., I may have a disability or I may have a condition that someone really loves me, but because of that, it may create problems in the future. And so they look at themselves, they look at their strength, they look at their personality, and they say that, listen, I love her so much, but I will get tired along the way. I won't be able to continue. I can't change someone's diapers all the time. I cannot I will not be responding to someone's call because she's been rushed to the hospital all the time. You need to assess yourself. This is not a red flag as a result of attitude or someone's habits. This is someone's state or the condition of the person. And it is as important as a red flag. If you assess yourself and it's not something that you can deal with the rest of your life, please don't go and worry someone's daughter. please, you said you liked her or you love her, but you weren't sure, or you didn't, or it wasn't brought to your notice. Now you have noticed. So when you were saying all of this, you weren't aware that she had such a condition. But now that you have realized that she has such a condition, you need to reassess yourself. And if it's something that you cannot do, please don't start, because this is a full-time job. It requires money, it requires love, it requires patience, it requires everything, and it will sap your energy. If you don't have that capability, don't indulge.
Okay, ladies, I'll let you put your thoughts together here, but we'll go for a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll continue the conversation.
For regular news checks as they unfold, 2020 news all day, all the time. Politics, sports, entertainment, business, and more. 2020 news. We bring you the world in 20 minutes.
Welcome back. It's Sister Sister. We're talking about the gentleman who wrote in about a lady who he waited for 2 years and has some serious conditions, including an ulcer. He's asking for advice on whether he should go ahead, with this relationship. So who wants to take it? Rosina, maybe?
My only problem with the guy, since he's the one who sent the message, is that ulcers are not very difficult to hide. When you go and eat, there are some things she says, oh, I can't eat this because I have ulcer, or I can't do this. So you knew all this, and you allowed yourself to fall in love with her. You allowed her to fall in love with you. It took about 2 years for her to actually accept it, because you see, sometimes when you know you have a condition, no matter how much you love somebody, you want to wait it out to see how the person is going to be there for you, because probably very important to you before you actually say a yes. So if she's waited it out 2 years, she has now said yes to you. Okay, I want to go this journey with you. You are now thinking of the dangers. So within the whole 2 years now, you didn't see the sacrifice that was ahead. That's my only setback with him, that, you should have known that this thing, you can't do with it. There was no need being with her for 2 years, or chasing her for 2 years, for her to now finally say yes, for you to now realize that, hey, she doesn't have tertiary education and she has a serious ulcer such that she can't even go for tertiary education. Now, tertiary education, of late, they even have one that you can do from home. You don't necessarily have to go to campus and be eating campus food and strange food. You can actually enroll in a class and work from home. When it's time for graduation, go for your graduation. So the tertiary education, that one is it's not really a big issue. But the ulcer is, because it may involve money and things like that. But that's all I can say. But what Tina said, yes. If in all honesty, you know that you're not the kind of man who has patience to go through with this, don't worry somebody's child. But know that you could have been married to her, and then the ulcer sets in after marriage. Then what happens then?
What would you have done? Yeah.
So sometimes look at the kind of person you're with. What values does she bring to the table? If there are values that you find very rare and you admire in her, maybe it could give you the strength to overcome your fears. But if you honestly know that one day, Charlie, there's no way you can handle it, please. You've already wasted 2 years. Don't waste another 1 month.
To quickly add, when you love somebody, you stick by them no matter what. Because really, she didn't ask to be sick.
Yeah.
She's been there with you for 2 years, and now she's sick, and you're thinking about what to do. Did you love her to start with? And like Rosie said, had you married her, what would have happened? That's why they actually say for better, for worse. So this is a test of your love. She could wake up one day and she's completely healed. And if you decide to break up with her and she's completely healed, what are you going to do?
You go and chase it.
I know, right? So really, if you love her and this is not the time to abandon her. This is my take. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's your decision to make. And personally, when it comes to finances, you're not her mother or her father. So, no, do you understand what I mean? Like, he feels as though he has to take the entire responsibility to take care
Most
of her.
likely he has, because maybe she's not good financially and he has.
But she must have some kind of...
She doesn't. If it was an issue, you wouldn't raise it up.
Assuming that she doesn't have anybody, then yes, you're the one she's going to look to. But maybe she also has other relatives and people. So don't feel as though you need to carry the entire burden if that's not necessarily the case. But even as a friend, this is the time she needs you.
Okay.
Is also curable?
It is curable.
It is.
It is curable.
Is it?
I think like any disease, there are different levels.
Severe it is, probably.
There are different levels of severe. Because I know people who have ulcer, but and there are some too. It's a really big deal. So
Okay.
Now I hear you can actually take some tablets, and you could sort it out.
Anyway, so yeah, those are some of the messages that we've received today. I have a few minutes left, so I don't know if I should go
let's
into
do one
another.
30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, short one.
Or the person will feel left
let's
out.
talk about a topic that,
Which is what?
you tell us.
But yeah, no, I brought it up. Okay, when was the last time you cheated?
What? Cheated? On who? Or what?
Oh, food.
Oh, yeah, that yesterday. So let me tell you.
What did you eat?
I ate pizza.
You had pizza?
Yeah.
Sister,
I know.
been chilling alone without me.
Just one slice though.
That's not true. You can never eat one slice
I know,
of pizza.
like
It was
they don't eat at all.
It was
Okay, I have a
9
question.
people.
Yeah, okay, let's hear.
Okay.
So, if you want your partner to lose weight, is it a good idea to join him to do it?
Yes, it
or
is.
to motivate him to do it alone?
Yes, it is. In London, I remember my husband and I, we went for medical checks, like how they do medical checks and all of that. And then they realized that he had cholesterol. But he seemed fit and everything. So in helping him with the routine, I made dinners, like his lunch, his breakfast. We made it together. I ate the same thing that he ate. I went out jogging with him and it helped. And we went to the doctors and his cholesterol had dropped. But it does help.
Yeah.
It's like,
So it's
you
always
don't make
better to
them-
do it with them.
exactly, because you
But
don't
it
make them
depends on the
feel
person you're doing it with,
alone.
oh, Charlie.
Tina, how's it going for you?
Oh, please. Oh, we're doing it together.
You're losing more than him.
No, because we have different body
Body
types,
types.
you see.
And
So,
so people have been hiding and
And-
eating pizza.
but see, we to start with, he has a different weight. I have a different weight. So, and my target is different from his target.
Yes.
Yeah. But then he's making good progress. I am also making progress.
I can
So,
tell. You're looking all trim and sounds okay. Well, I mean, we will end it here.
So that's how.
So let's motivate each other.
Let's motivate each other.
Motivate.
That's what life is about. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. We'll be back same time next week on your favorite station, City TV, and of course 97.3 City FM. Remember, you can send your comments ahead of time to my email, jessica@cityfmonline.com. I'd really, really love to hear from you. And yeah, don't miss out on any episode of Sister Sister. We'll be back. Good night. And thank you to, of course, Rosina, Olivia, and Tina for coming through once again. Cheers.